This is the Action Movie Guys podcast, bringing you action movie reviews from across the decades, plus box office numbers and insight like never before. And now, your hosts of the Action Movie Guys podcast, Alex and Nate.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Action Movie Guys podcast, episode 265. We're starting a brand new franchise. We're starting the Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, this is The Curse of the Black Pearl from 2003. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa, and my co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
All right, Nate, how long has it been since you've seen Pirates?
Okay, so yeah, I have seen this. I've seen this more than once. I saw it at the theater, 2003, and I have not seen it in at least 10 years. It could be less, but I don't think so. I think it's been when I was watching it, I didn't even remember certain stuff. So it's been at least 10 years since I've seen it.
Yeah, the last time I seen this is when it first came out on Blu-ray. I did not see this in the theater. I saw this for the first time, and then I fell in love with it. But yeah, that was the last time I seen it. Now, before we get into Rotten Tomato scores and all that, I want to bring some box office numbers because this is a franchise that went up in money.
Yeah.
So I just want to bring it up really quick. This is when I mean, a lot of people ask me to bring that back. So
We'll pick and choose when we do it.
Yeah, we'll pick and choose which franchise deserves it, but this one really does. Because this movie was budgeted at $140 million, and worldwide it made $654 million.
This was also projected to be a flop when it came out because, number one, there hadn't been a successful pirate film in it was ages. And I know Cutthroat Island came out in the mid-90s. It was a bomb with Gina Davis. It was one of the worst movies. It lost so much money. So this was a gamble. You had Gore Verbinski directing, right? He had done The Ring, and that's pretty much it. And Johnny Depp, we know Johnny Depp now as this big star. If you go back and look at his filmography from before 2003, he was in cult movies. He was in Tim Burton films. He was an oddball actor. He was not a A-list big star when Pirates came out. It's just the truth. And this made him into that stratosphere. So this was a big risk, and it paid off for Disney.
Very big. It did very big. So with that said, now I can't wait down the other films because these salaries was going up, and I can't wait to tackle that. So we gave you the box office numbers. Now let's get right to the Rotten Tomato scores of the critics and the audience have to say about Pirates 1.
Well, very good. This has an 80% critic score. So 4 out of 5 really liked it. And as far as your audience score, a little higher. I always love a good, I love when they're close. This one's an 80 for critics, 86 for audiences. So a very well-liked, I don't know if you do, Alex. I don't know very many people, if any, that don't like this movie. This first one, at least.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, everyone likes it pretty much.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can't see no one going, I hate that movie. Unless you're not a fan of Pirates movies.
You just hate pirates as an idea.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
All right, so let's get it off. Lead character, played by Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow, Nate.
Yeah, so this is interesting because it's kind of an ensemble with 3 leads, but he is ultimately ends up being the lead character of the film. It doesn't start that way because you're introduced to Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann and all that when they're kids. You think it's gonna be them, but they end up being more of the supporting roles to Johnny Depp. And let me tell you, 5 out of 5. This is a 5 out of 5 character. This is an iconic role. I know the movie's 20 years. Well, 20 years is a long time, but 20 years now, and people still know him there's some people who just know him for this role. You know what I mean? They don't know he was freaking Ed Wood and Edward Scissorhands and all these other, the guy from Nightmare on Elm Street. They know him as Jack Sparrow. A 5 out of 5. First of all, amazing performance. He was nominated for a Golden Globe and an Oscar for this role, which is crazy. Johnny Depp absolutely nails it. He looks the part. He sounds the part. To me, and you may agree, I just feel like every once in a while, there's a role that comes along where that role and that actor is like a glove that you can never see anyone else doing it. I feel the same way, honestly, about Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, right? He is that. I couldn't see it recast, and I feel that way about Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. I can never see anyone else doing this role. If they reboot Pirates, they gotta go with new. Well, I mean, it's based off a ride, so they could make up anything they want.
Yeah,
they'd have to make up new characters because it's too perfect of a role. He's hilarious. He's kind of bad, but you still like him. He's likable. You know what I mean? He's kind of a scallywag. I'm gonna use pirate terms. He's kind of a scallywag, but you're still rooting for him. So I absolutely love him. I think he's great. 5 out of 5.
I agree. He's a 5. He's a 5 out of a 5. The minute he's introduced, he has one of the best introduction to a character. His boat was sinking.
Yeah, I love that part.
It's one of I was watching it because it's been a while, and I'm like, what is wrong with him? And he runs and he gets the bucket, and I love it because he sees the dead pirates, and he stands up and he goes,
Yeah.
he gives him respect, and then of course the most iconic scene is him standing on top of the boat, and it's getting dragged underwater, and it's right there, perfect.
He just walks right on the deck.
Yeah, and he walks right out. He goes, "Hey, that's a shilling." And he goes, "Huh?" He's like, and then he grabbed the whole bag of shillings. I was like, okay, you're right. He is Jack Sparrow. Now the problem is we're getting reboots and all this crap. Yeah, you're right. If they ever introduce a new Jack Sparrow, mad people are going to be like, why didn't you get Johnny Depp? Now, we already know all the legal things, and he said he's never playing him again because Disney screwed that up. So it's kind of sad because he is that character. And I would love to see more adventures with him because he was really fun. Even if it's a reboot and it's a cameo and he's drinking rum somewhere, it would have been hilarious. But in this movie, you're right. He's good. He's bad. You really don't know. He wants to have sex with Elizabeth Swann, but he's like, he doesn't want to. And it's one of the funny things. It's like,
I love at the end when he tells her it would never work out, as if she wanted him. It's hilarious.
And I love the relationship that he has with the guys that took the pearl, Captain Barbossa and them.
Oh yeah,
I always thought that was funny because it's like another love and hate relationship between the pirates.
Those are his guys, and they did a mutiny on him and
put him in the island.
They left him on the island with the rum.
My favorite scene is where he goes, how did you bloody get off the island? He goes, not about that right now.
Yeah.
He goes,
I always love the part too where Elizabeth Swann is like when she sets the thing on fire, he's like, why's the rum gone? That's all he's worried about is the rum.
Yeah.
He's so drunk in this movie. It's great.
Yeah, I love that. That's pretty good. I give him a 5 too. I agree with you. He's a perfect role, perfect character for this type of franchise. All right, here we go. Villain, which is Captain Barbossa.
Yeah. Jeffrey
and
Rush.
the entire skeleton crew.
Yeah. So, okay. I thought I had a score. When I watched this movie going in, I was like, okay, from what I remember, I have these scores. And then I watched it, and I actually changed it. I'll be honest, I changed it. I thought I was going with something, and then I changed it. Now, I think Jeffrey Rush is amazing in this movie. I love the way he talks. This guy, he sounds like a pirate. I don't know if that's how pirates sound, but in my head, that's how I imagine pirates talked, is Jeffrey Rush in this movie. Even more than Jack Sparrow. So I think the performance is a 5 out of 5. But Barbossa, at the end of the day, I gave him a 4. I didn't give him a 5. I gave him a 4. And I just felt like I remember him being more bad and evil than he was. He's not really. I mean, he stole the ship. He did the mutiny and all that. He's cursed. So he looks like a skeleton. He's trying to get the curse lifted. So he needs the blood of Will Turner or Bootstrap Bill Turner's, descendant to put it in the stupid chest and, and free the curse, right? But he doesn't do a ton. I mean, his crew does a lot of the work. You know what I mean? They are the ones who go in and blow everything up all the time. I still love the performance. I give the acting job a 5 out of 5. But the character, I'm just going to give him a 4. I don't think he's the greatest. They do fight at the end. Him and Jack, they fight and he stabs him. And then you find out that Jack is also cursed because he stole like one piece of gold or whatever, which was a cool reveal. I did like that. I totally forgot about that. But overall, yeah, I thought he was really, really good. He just didn't, I thought he was better in my head than when I watched it. I don't know if that made sense, but I gave him a 4.
All right. What was the original score?
A 5.
I'm sorry.
A 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought I was going to give him a 5.
I gave him a 5.
Okay. That's fine.
I love the character. I love how he plays the good and bad. Mm-hmm. Like, he is a good guy. I mean, all pirates are good and they're bad. You got those that are really, really, really bad. And then you got those that are like hybrid, like Jack Sparrow. He could go bad. He could go good. Captain Barbossa is just like, in this story, he's bad.
Yeah.
He's bad. Later down the road, he switches. But in terms of this, I kind of liked him, though. I thought he was really fun. He was cool. I love when he's eating dinner with her, and then she runs out, and they all turn into the... Let me just tell you, 20 years... those effects still look good.
They
I
do.
don't
They
care.
look mostly good.
And I don't know how the F they did it, but whenever they were walking out of the light into like whatever, they went to normal, to CGI, to normal, and it looked amazing. And I know, I mean, we could look at it in detail and it still doesn't look as good, but to me, the flow looked great. I didn't care what it looked like.
It's
I was
not
like, that was cool. And they were
distracting.
fighting.
That's what you
Yes,
mean. Like,
that's what it is.
It doesn't look
Yeah.
so bad that it distracts you. Like, it still looks good. Yeah. Maybe not as good as current, but good.
Yes, and especially when they're fighting Barbossa and Jack Sparrow, and they're doing all this stuff, and they're going from like the water, they hit the light, and you see him turn into a skeleton, Jack turns into a skeleton, and they back to normal. I was like, come on, man. I was like, this is hot. He fights Jack. He steals Elizabeth Swann. I mean, he hijacks her.
That's true. Yeah.
He just kidnapped her, right? And they throw her, or they walk the plank. Bro. I was like, yeah, that's evil. I was like, come on, they evil. And they threw Jack back in the island for the second time. That's mad evil.
Yeah.
So I gave him a 5. I was like, you know what? You can't get any better than Cowboy Barbossa, except, I mean, it is.
There could be.
It could be. But yes, I think in terms of, for this movie,
Yeah.
he's a 5. All right, here we go. Action scenes.
5. I forgot. So here's another one. Like, I forgot how good the action was in this movie. You get pirate stuff. So you're gonna get sword fights. Even though, even the first sword fight, I love the one with Orlando Bloom and Johnny Depp when they're in the little like swordsmith shop and they're fighting. And he launches them up. Yeah, I love that scene. I love you get the sword fights. You get the pirate ship stuff. Right? You get like chases, you get cannons, you get explosions, they destroy towns. There is, not only is there a lot of action, but it is all very well executed. And you know me, I'm a fan of well executed, well shot action. This has it. Everything is shot great. That scene you were talking about when they're fighting at the end and they're going through like the light, those little beams of light, and they switch to the, I mean, it's still cool now. Like, it holds up. It's very fun to watch. Very creative. Like, everything in this is creative because you got to think, okay, we got these pirates. It's not like we got machine guns and bazookas and, robots. So what can we do? And I think they came up with a lot of creative ways to shoot the action. It's thrilling. There's a lot of chases. I love a good chase scene. There's a lot of chases. And I'll save another point about the action for when we get to overall, but I think it's great. It's great 5.
Yes, I totally agree. I gave it a 5 too. It is a fun action flick, pirate action adventure, I will say. It's very fun. You do feel like you're in the pirate movie. I think they immersed you in it. Even when they all turn into skeletons and everything, you feel like it. Like, I totally forgot until she came out the door and they play that wonky music and they all like in their faces like a ride. I was like, that is pretty cool. Like, they made it into like a ride. Like, I liked all that. I was like, that is pretty cool. Now, I was gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
Until I saw them go underwater and sneak attacked. And I said, that's a 5. I loved it.
Oh, and they're walking,
they were all like
walking under.
Yeah, they were like, dun. And they had the music like dun, 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 dun. And then I thought it was cool. I said, all right, that's a 5 right there. And then the ending, I forgot about the sword fighting, and it was so good. And I said, you know what, man? I was like, this is really, like you said it's a very creative action flick that doesn't take itself seriously.
Right.
Like, they knew what they were shooting, and they kept the humor with like that old-fashioned sword, sandstorm water, whatever that term is.
Like sword and sandals.
Sword and sandals type, but like it had like that fun
adventure.
Yeah, like it had like that fun Zorro type of.
Yeah,
like
he's
action.
like pirate movies, pretty much. Zorro. Those are the same concept.
Yeah, so I loved it. I said, you know what? This is a 5. I was like, this is so. Honestly, I would rewatch this in the theater if they would have brought it back for like
cool. I'm surprised they never did any re-releases for this. If they did a 20th anniversary, I'd go see it in the theater.
Yeah, I would too.
IMAX.
Because that score is what makes the adventure. Like, that's the score itself elevates the action scenes for some reason. Like, it's just a bing, bing, bam, 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 and you see like cannons is going off, and I was like, oh my god!
Yeah.
All they missing is my man Slaw from Goonies. Hey, you guys!
And they could have made him. He could have been he could have been like a prototype version because that was in the 80s.
Oh, he would have been
His ancestors.
so awesome.
That would have been sick.
Yeah, he would have been part of Jack's crew for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he would have had some funny line. I know he
could
would
have had
have
the
looked at him like, He would have-
Exactly.
So I think so. Yeah, 5 across the board. Storyline.
Okay, so this is where we get to the part where I remember why I don't watch these movies all that often, all the time. Because they are all, I think, maybe not, I think the last 2 aren't, but these first 3, the Gore Verbinski ones, they are very long-winded. And I'm not just mean about the run. It's a long movie. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that.
It is long, yeah.
But it feels longer because of the way the story unfolds. It is a very long-winded story. And I always compare it to like, if you have someone who's telling you a story and they just get you to the meat and potatoes of it and they get you all the good parts and then you're done. And then you have the other people who tell you the story and it's the same story, but it took them like 30 minutes to tell you because they got to tell you what color shirt they were wearing that day and how the weather was and what it was, and stuff that doesn't matter. And this script has, to me, it has some of that. Like there's a lot of, I wouldn't call it fluff, but there's definitely a lot of parts that drag out and feel longer than they need to feel to me. So I still give it a 4. I think it's a really good storyline. Also, I think the middle, it's a little, I didn't know what another way to say it, but a little mumbo jumbo-y, meaning you have like this storyline of this curse. And they're talking about it, but they don't really explain it that good. You know what I mean? They're like, there's this curse, and you stole the gold, and we stole the gold, so we got cursed by this guy who's already dead. And, we need the blood and it just sounds like obviously they made it up, but it sounds even more made up. Like this is really make believe. They're just going with it. It still ends up being good. It comes back around, but in the middle parts of the movie, it's like, I don't know what they're talking about with all this curse stuff, but I sure do like when they start shooting cannon. So I still give it a 4. I think it's strong, but I don't think it's like perfect.
It's funny. I didn't know where you were going to go because honestly, I gave it a 4 also. I didn't know which way you were going to go with it because I was really going to say it dragged. In certain parts of the movie.
Yeah.
When he's in the prison, when they first came out and they was like with the dog and the bone. Yeah. And I was like, why? Like, I was like, all right, it is what it is. Like that took forever. I felt a little bit the fight between him and Orlando Bloom was a little bit too long. That's just me. And then parts towards the end, I felt like it was long. And then I was just like, oh God.
Yeah.
So, but not in a bad way. Like I like the, like I don't want people to be like, oh, you shitting. I'm not shitting on it. I think the movie still holds up. I think it's still great. It's just certain parts of this movie could have been trimmed out a bit, like the fat off. It would have been a perfect movie. I would have been, this is a 5. This would have been a 25 across the board. I will tell you right now.
Yeah.
But I just think some choices that they did not work. Oh, another one is the beginning when he's talking to the guys blocking the boat.
Yeah.
That was like a 10-minute scene right there.
Oh, yeah. And it's like
guys
for
in the
laughs,
beginning.
but it's not that funny. It's like, okay, like let's just speed this up.
Yeah, I felt like that was a little bit long, and then she fell into the water.
Even the end.
Like, oh boy,
didn't you feel like it was supposed to end sooner, and then he keeps going? Like he escapes the noose, and then they keep running, and then they keep talking, and then they keep, and it's like you're right. I 1,000% agree with you.
Yeah. So anyway, with that said, look, I gave it a 4. It still looked great.
Oh, yeah.
Nate gave it a 4. All right, overall.
Yeah, I think there's a 2-hour version of this movie somewhere that is like perfect, but this is not it. But it's just a great movie. It's still a great movie. And what I was gonna say was you touched on it, but I was saving it for here. The friggin' score of this movie is so good. I love the music. All the Pirates movies have good music, but this one, it is memorable. If you really go like think in your head of movies that have come out in the last 20 years, I would say this has one of the top 5 most memorable scores of any movie. Like you hear it and you know what movie it is. You know what I mean? And you can't say that for a ton of movies. There's a lot of movies where I could play you some music and be like, I don't know what this is from, but it's good. This, you know exactly what it's from. And you're right. When they add it into those action scenes, perfect. And that's what I was going to say. I love the score of this. I think the cinematography is great. I think the direction is good. I think the writing is good. Not great, good. I think the performances are good. I didn't even touch on Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom. I like them both in this movie. I think she's really good as Elizabeth Swann. I think he's really good as Will Turner. And I'm not a huge Orlando Bloom fan, but I like him in this movie. And then you got, of course, your guy from the TV mogul from Tomorrow Never Dies as her dad. He's in this. Jonathan Pryce, that's his name. He's always, he's solid. I forgot Zoe Saldana was in this movie. What happened there? I don't even think she's in any of the other ones from what I remember. I forgot she was in this one.
She said she wanted to quit acting after the first movie, Pirates movie.
What a mistake.
Look up on it. She said she had a bad experience on it. I don't think it's because of Johnny Depp. It was something with
the director. Maybe she was like, this guy's
crew
too much.
Or some shit. Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's crazy because if you think about it, she's part of like $5 billion franchises, right? Like she's like Avatar, she's in Guardians, she's in Pirates, she's in Star Trek. Yeah, she is it. She's the Samuel L. Jackson of women. She's in all these like big, crazy universes. Anyway, I give the movie a 4 overall, and that's mostly because of the story related things for me. Like it just drags a bit at parts. And from what I remember, the next two do a lot too, which is why I have to really, I'm watching them because we're reviewing them. But if we weren't, I still don't know when I'd like pop it in again. You know what I mean? Every time I watch them, I have a good time. But like to commit to that good time, it takes effort. So I have to give it a 4 for me. If this was a 5, I'd be like, I could watch this every weekend. It wouldn't matter. And that's not the case for me. So that's where I got my score.
Yeah, when it came to this movie, I was tossed between 5 and 4. I think the 4K transfer is what made me go, yeah, this is a 4 out of a 5. I think the transfer on this movie is not good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. And it's very shame on you, Disney, because this a property that could have looked way better.
Did you watch
4K.
the disc?
I don't have a 4K disc.
Oh, no. Oh, so you watched the Disney Plus?
I watched the Disney
It just
Plus.
looked okay, honestly, for 4K.
Yeah, it looked like a Blu-ray.
Yeah, I agree.
It didn't sound great. It sounded normal. So I was just like, they could have did something better. But the movie, I agree with you 100%. I totally enjoyed The Avenger. I'm a sucker for these type of films, whether it's archaeology, dinosaurs trying to eat people in the park, this type of movie, Zorro.
Yeah.
I love this type of movie. And you're right. There's a reason why Zim Zimmer has the keys to his Beamer. Because, man, let me tell you. Because that score is fantastic. I think this is going to be another set I'm going to go after for my finals is the Pirates. Because, it is very worth it. There's a lot of movies that, you're right, that you could just pop on the theme and you go, I know where it is. When you watched it, or if you saw it as a kid, you already know where you were when you heard the music. And I can name them mad quick. RoboCop has that iconic score.
Yep.
Right? You got Indiana Jones, iconic.
For me, Jurassic Park. I hear 2 notes of it. I'll tell you exactly what movie it is.
007.
Yep. Star Wars.
Right. Star Wars.
Usually it's John Williams stuff. And this is not even a John Williams score. And it's,
Jaws.
Yep.
Right. Danny Elfman with the Batman.
Harry Potter. I think Harry Potter has that kind of score.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ghostbusters. But that's not really, I'd say that's more of a soundtrack, but that's not a score. So I'm not even going to count that. Batman, any version of Batman, right? Even the Zimmer version, the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
You go. So his print in music, in films is gonna be up there with John Williams. I believe. At the end of his term or whenever he retires, he's going to be up there with the greats.
Yeah.
Nate, total points.
For me, it's a 22 out of a 25. Very high. I think this movie's fantastic. And I didn't even touch on this fact. But, being that I live in Orlando pretty much my whole life, I have been on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride here in Orlando. I've now been on the one in Disneyland. I went on this year. Okay. The original, but I've been on the one here a million times. And I do think as far as like basing a movie off of a ride, they got the right, like if you've never been on that ride, it has a very distinct feel to it. It's just a slow boat ride pretty much, but it has like a smell and you feel like a certain dampness. And I think they nailed a lot of that in this movie. So like the scene you were talking about with the dog, that's straight off the ride where they're playing with the keys to try to get the dog to come let them out. But it's a one little robots in the ride, and in the movie it goes on for like 2 minutes too long. But still, they do have moments that are straight out of the ride, which I thought were pretty cool. So anyway, 22 out of 25, great film.
Yeah, mine's just 23 straight up. 23 out of 25. And one thing I will say is that Johnny Depp embraces being Jack Sparrow, because this dude did Make-A-Wish Foundations. He went into children's hospitals dressed up as him. And
he went on the ride dressed
did
as him and surprised people on the ride.
Yeah, I would have got off the ride and hugged him. I would have been straight up.
Sir, sit down, sir.
Yeah, I'll be like splash. I'm like boom, 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 boom.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that would have been so funny. I'll be like parlay, parlay, parlay. Don't take me to prison, parlay.
I need to parlay with my lawyer. Don't let me go.
Parlay. That would be so funny. Anyway, Nate, what is coming up next?
Yeah, so great start to this franchise. Let's see how it goes. Of course, next episode, we are going to be continuing on with our Universal Monsters in Action. Monsters in Action with Dracula Untold. And then next week, we continue with Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Now, if I remember correctly, this is where they introduced my boy, Davy Jones. So I'm looking forward to, I haven't seen in 10 years either. I don't think I rewatched it that much, but I remember Davy Jones. So it's going to be the next one.
There's two lines that I remember from that movie, right? The first one is when my boy walks in, he goes, oh, do you fear death? Right? And the guy is like, whatever. The second one, if I remember, I hope this is the movie, where it's your boy Barbosa, he goes, Calypso!
Oh, yeah, Calypso. Yeah, she's Naomi Harris.
Moneypenny.
Yes, from the Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Calypso. Yeah, I remember that. Those are my two lines. Do you fear death?
Bro, I don't remember any lines. I just remember David Jones got an octopus face, and I like that.
Oh, and he plays the organ like.
And he has a crab hand.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it because he plays the organ like the Phantom of the Opera, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to talk some Dead Man's Chest.
He's the Phantom of the Seas.
Yeah. Phantom of the Seas. Davy Jones and the Phantoms.
Davy Jones and the Phantoms. That's his choir.
That's his choir and the Phantoms singing your favorite song, Calypso.
He comes out with the crab hand.
My God.
Ding, 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 playing the organ. Oh, Lord.
Oh, shoot. Oh, man. All right. Anyway, with that said, you guys want to follow us in our social media accounts, please follow Nate over on Instagram at Netflix Reviews. Check out the podcast with him and his friends called Netflix Movie Reviews. Anything Action Movie Guys, head over to Instagram at Action Movie Guys Podcast, or go to www.geeksandflix.com for our entire podcast is there now on the website, so you guys can check it out there. Again, www.geeksandflix.com. Other than that, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Be awesome to each other and geek out.